That's crazy. Such an important pivotal part. I thought somebody would have jumped, but I guess for Montoya, he did it perfectly. He didn't need to do it. He still got the lead. He still has the buttons. Now he just has to see when that number 1 Penske car starts closing in and hit his button in reverse. It's like Fast and the Furious all over again, just without the flames.
Well, yeah, Montoya, absolutely. He can, he can look back and see if power's really coming hard. He can hit that push to pass, and he can keep that gap, hopefully.
We'll go back to the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Pete. Back to live pictures of the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. We're on board with Ryan Hunter-Reay, but you did see Will Power is still behind Juan Pablo Montoya. So you haven't missed anything there. Hunter-Reay is now up to 7th position in the 28 DHL car with 14 laps to go. We'll run through the order again. You can see the sun glistening on the 2 Penske cars in front. Montoya and Will Power, half a second now between them. Any slight mistake from Montoya and he's done. And the reason why Hunter-Reay moved to 7th, we've lost Jack Horsworth, he's pitted. So it's Kanaan and Castroneves 3rd and 4th. Pagenaud is 5th, Bourdais 6th, Hunter-Reay 7th, Coletti up to 8th, Filippi 9th, Andretti 10th.
Got Graham Rahal in 11th with that floppy right end plate. Hawksworth, as Matt mentioned, he pitted, so he's dropped back to 12th. Newgarden in 13th, Munoz in 14th, Sato in 15th, Hinchcliffe in 16th, De Silvestro in 17th. Dixon, again, just can't seem to get anything going. Down there in 18th, Chavez in 19th, Kimball in 20th. Karam has dropped all the way down to 21st and is essentially the last car running with Jake Straconi and Hurtis out.
So Hawksworth has 13 laps to make something happen with some brand new tires. So we'll see whether he can go forward and maybe push himself into the top 10. He has to pass 2 or 3 cars to do that. But Tony Kanaan is on for yet another podium here at St. Pete if he can hold back Castroneves. But we're still looking at this fight. Will Power, 13 laps. I think now is the time you have to be looking to make a pass on Juan Pablo Montoya.
See how they're both kind of squaring that diamonding that last corner off so that they get a better run down the front straightaway.
The most important place to get a good run. We've seen passes turn 10 today. We've seen passes at turn 9.5 today. But realistically speaking, it's turn 1 that these guys are going to have to make a pass. On your teammate, it's going to have to be at turn 1. We'll see if anybody's going to use the push to pass to catch up as we still got Ariel on board. And you can see Power closes up through that section all the way through 8, through 9.5. Can't believe that's not a corner. The last hairpin is 2 corners, 13 and 14. And the kink, which is a pretty, reasonable corner, is not classified a corner. Not at least on my track map, which I don't understand who made that one, but...
Pretty funny. Jay, looking at the overheads as well, it just really does show you how evenly matched these cars are at this particular point in the race.
Very good point. As we look on top of who's got push to passes left, we'll go for our final commercial break, 11 to go at St. Pete. Less than 10 laps to go at the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, and it looks like Juan Pablo Montoya is pulling away from Power, and Power's used the push to pass, and this is why Power had a look into turn 10 and touched, and they touched. Wow, we missed that during commercial break, but this was Power's chance for the lead.
He lost that upright on the right side of his wing, just like Pagenaud. I wonder if that's going to affect him like it did Pagenaud.
Great avoiding driving from both of them in the end. Power went for it. We said the move would have to be at turn 1, but he tried at turn 10. He used the push to pass. Montoya probably didn't see him coming, but both guys avoid it, and of course Roger Penske will not want to see both these guys out of this race, because that would give Tony Kanaan the win. 8 to go. Is that the race finish then? Power's now with a damaged car, less push to pass, gonna have to catch up to Juan Pablo Montoya. I don't know if he's gonna have enough to do it.
His Power's only hope is that Montoya runs into some lap traffic maybe that slows him up just enough for Power to get back close to him, close enough to maybe make an attempt at a pass.
Good point. And you see on the standings, Hawksworth is up to 11th. He's passed Newgarden and Rahal. So now he's up to 11th. So we'll see whether he can continue. And Sato is slowly moving his way up for 14th. So AJ Foyt cars are also on the move. So keep your eye out for the red and white AJ Foyt cars in the last remaining 7 laps of this race. And keep your eye out for the red and white car, any red and white car. Because this one of Juan Pablo Montoya is going to hit some lap traffic. Are you psychic, Glenn?
I knew, I just knew it couldn't be that easy.
They're going to catch up to Sage Karam. He's going to be the first guy to catch up. Surely these guys won't get in the way. But Roger Penske, he's not looking all that confident.
Well, it's not a matter of whether or not they'll get out of the way. It's where you catch them. And can they get out of the way?
Very good point. And it looks like they're going to catch him on this lap. But maybe towards the end of the lap, or maybe towards the infamous, now famous, turn 9.5.
They're there right now. Montoya's getting held up right this second.
He's losing time. And yeah, Karam gets out of the way, and Power now through 9.5. Will he get by before turn 10? Karam needs to get out of the way, and he doesn't move and let him by. And he still hasn't let him by.
Oh, this is a disaster for Power.
This is
and it should be some kind of fine for Mr. Karam for holding up. He just kind of destroyed that race.
And then he dives out of the way out of the last turn like it was imminent, like, oh, I gotta move out of the way. Yeah, like he's not been behind you for half a lap. But, well, I guess Montoya, the traffic worked out okay for him. And you'd be surprised, actually. Most of the time, everybody gets all excited that the traffic's gonna hurt the front guy. And most of the time, it hurts the second guy. They see the front guy coming, and they forget about the second guy.
That seems like it. That's exactly what happened with Sage there. He saw Montoya coming and got out of the way and forgot all about poor Mr. Will Power there in second place.
So that will pretty much end this one with 5 laps to go. Surely Power can't catch up again. Montoya has got this race signed, sealed, delivered. He just has to open the letter. So with 5 to go at St. Petersburg, it looks like it'll be a Penske 1-2 with Juan Pablo Montoya leading the way. Will Power 2 seconds behind, and Tony Kanaan still holding on to 3rd place by only 1 second to Helio Castroneves. Where is Jack Hawksworth? That is the question. We know that the AJ Foyt car was on the move. We haven't seen any passes, but the director has decided to firmly stay on these 2 guys. And he's in 9th. So Hawksworth made the top 10, and so is Marco Andretti. He's in 10th, so Hawksworth is now into 9th, so he's moving up. Sato's in 13th.
Still a 9th place from dead last at the beginning of the race. I'd have to say that's still a pretty remarkable drive.
A driver with a big future, in my opinion. I've seen him firsthand, and he knows how to get it done. Of course, he won. He's come through the Star Mazda Series, the Indy Lights Series on the road to Indy, and he actually set records in Star Mazda, Jack Hawksworth. So he, after finishing 5th last year, is on for a great season this year, and Tony Kanaan is on for another podium, and he is still 1 second ahead of Castroneves. It looks like he has it signed, sealed, and delivered as well.
The shadows deepening.
Hawksworth made a pass.
Makes.
Sorry to interrupt. Hawksworth gets by Filippi. He's into 8th now. We didn't see it. Like I said, I think the directors are so terrified to take their eyes off these two now after missing the last 2 pieces of action between them that they're not showing anything else. But Hawksworth has made a pass and he's into P8.
Yeah, this is one of the few tracks that we have that, are actually affected by the lowering of the sun. You get the shadow effect, and, it can really bother some drivers. Other drivers, it doesn't bother them a bit.
And you have to say, I have to give one piece of credit, as this looks like Charlie Kimball up the inside of Di Silvestro. It is. And the lowering sun, as Glenn said. I have to give some credit to Coletti because he got out of the way. We didn't mention him. He got out of the way beautifully for the front 2. In fact, he got out of the way a little bit too good because he lost the place to Karam in that whole debacle. So Coletti made sure he didn't, whether you finish 22nd or 23rd or whatever it is they're fighting for, doesn't make a whole lot of difference. And he made sure he didn't get in the way, unlike Karam.
Exactly. He made sure he was no factor in the outcome of the race, and Sage didn't quite see it that way. But it looks like they are coming up on some more lap traffic. With 1 to go, are they going to be a factor?
Surely not. With 1 to go, the white flag is out. Final lap at the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg 2015. Round 1 of the championship. Will Power, trying to defend his crown, is in 2nd place behind Juan Pablo Montoya, trying to win his first Verizon IndyCar Series this year. And what a good start this will be for Montoya if he can hold on, which it looks like he's going to do. He's coming up to the traffic around about the same spot as we saw last time, but I think he doesn't need to make a pass. Oh! And Kimball's out. And wow, if that would have imagine if that would have been behind Montoya. On the last part of the race, Kimball is off. He's in the wall, and Montoya's gonna, after I guess kind of blinking twice, come through to win round 1 of the 2015 Verizon IndyCar Series at St. Petersburg. Kanaan comes in for 3rd, Castro is 4th, and Simon Pagenaud, credit when it's due, hangs on for 5th. Bourdais stayed quiet all day long and finishes in P6. Juan Pablo Montoya holds on, and the 2 Penske drivers showing each other a lot of respect. I got a feeling this championship's gonna come down to the wire.
Certainly was an exciting race. Lots of action, lots of passes, some very unexpected and awesome passes as well.
Absolutely. And Roger, your thoughts on the impressive performance by Team Penske this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you, it was a fight with our 2 guys up front there. I mean, it was just an amazing weekend. Guys worked hard during the winter, the new aero kits. Thanks for Chevrolet and Verizon for the support. But to come back this year with the fast times there on qualifying day and to win this race, finish 1-2 in the top 6, wow, what a day.
I know there are never team owners, but what goes through your mind when you see your 2 guys battling and they have contact like that?
Well, we said at the beginning, let's take care of ourselves, but at the end, they got to go race it. I think you saw that Will was trying to get by, and Juan didn't want him by, so I'm sure they understand that, and we'll just move on to the next race. But a great day for all the people at Team Penske.
Team Penske finishing 4 in the top 5.
There's not many people respected more around the paddock than Roger Penske. He let his 2 drivers race today, and they actually made contact. But let him race.
That's a guy that's seen it all, done it all in motorsports. Holy cow.
And Juan Pablo Montoya will come through to win at St. Petersburg, and I would think he'll be pretty happy. Yep, I was right.
I think that might be an understatement, my friend.
He drives the Horizon number 2 Penske car through the crowd. Safely, we hope. Doc, keep out of the way. Montoya brings it home. And he's chasing. It's like the bull race in Spain.
Slight problem with the rope there. He happened to run over the rope a little bit.
There we go. What are your thoughts of the race today, and especially the drive between Montoya and Will Power?
Well, I think it was a fantastic way to start the IndyCar season.